Sprout
This
here today,
conference will now be recorded.
and that's the recording. So thank you so much again. And I guess our presentation today is on the topic of LinkedIn. Your business needs to use LinkedIn. We all know that what the workforce situation is right now. How can we use it to our best advantage, not only to find employees, but also to market your business and help spread the word and use it a little bit of as a sales tool. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jackie Koffenberg to chat a little bit about our businesses need LinkedIn on our Renville County HRA EDA Lunch and Learn. Jackie, thank you.
Hey everybody, this is Jackie. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
All right, well, I will get started then. Thanks for joining me. LinkedIn is one of my favorite social media sites. I've been a senior marketing strategist at Vivid Image. I've been there for 24 years, or I've been at Vivid for 11 years. I've been in marketing for 24 years. And Vivid Image has been in business for 27 years, helping over 1,000 small and medium-sized businesses and nonprofits get results from websites and digital marketing. And LinkedIn is just a small part of that. So let's get started. So by the end of this class, a few things that we'll discuss and that you should know by the end of the class is how you can brand your LinkedIn company page, what is searchable and where to start, how to network with people on LinkedIn and increase engagement, especially with your employees, how to promote jobs, and how to keep your network updated, and just kind of some things that you can do for short-term and long-term steps. Because if you're like most small businesses, you might have set up your company profile a few years ago and haven't touched it since, and LinkedIn has changed a lot over the last few years, so there's a lot more we can do with it. A little bit about LinkedIn. It's kind of known as the professional social media network. So where Facebook might be for sharing family photos and connecting with friends, LinkedIn is more for connecting professionally. So everybody from freelancers to people looking for jobs to corporate execs to people in various careers can use LinkedIn. There's over 830 million members in over 200 countries, and 188 million of those members are in the United States. And now there is also 58 million companies listed on LinkedIn. So not only can you have a personal LinkedIn profile, there can also be a company LinkedIn profile also. And that's kind of what we'll be focusing on today, is more of what we can do with that company LinkedIn profile. Because LinkedIn is a powerful tool for businesses of all sizes, and really helps you to create relationships with potential customers, connect with other businesses, and learn more about your target market. One of my favorite quotes is by Pablo Picasso: "Action is the foundational key to all success." So on the topic of action, let's look at our first reason why your business needs to be on LinkedIn. Reason number one is to showcase your company's brand. It's a way to kind of show other companies and prospective employees and prospective customers who you are. So as a business owner, one of your main goals is to promote your company's brand, and LinkedIn is a great place to do that. So company pages help to show how your brand is unique. This can include highlighting your mission, vision, values, and your products and services. And also posting updates about news you have or photos, videos. And then your employees can also be connected with you on LinkedIn and help to advocate for your brand. So we'll talk about that also. Overall, LinkedIn is a great way to build trust and credibility with those potential partners. So here's a fun fact. LinkedIn members interact with company pages over 1.5 billion times per month. So kind of like, you know, how we might go to Facebook and look at a feed there, there's also a professional kind of feed of all the people and companies you can connect with on LinkedIn. So that just gives you more of, okay, what is going on with your professional network? This is an example, the screenshot is an example of what a page looks like from an admin view for the Vivid Image, page. So you can see, you can write a post just kind of like you can with a Facebook page. You can see a little bit of stats and how many people are following the page. So if you guys could let me know, maybe just by chatting in the comment box, just let me know if you have a company page, or maybe you don't know if you do, that's okay too. Or if you're on LinkedIn, maybe just you know, with your individual profile and not a company page. Could you just type it in the chat box, and we'll just kind of see where everybody's at. I'll wait a few seconds to see what comes through. So we have one person saying that they do have a LinkedIn page, but they're not active on it. But they do also have a personal page. It looks like Renville County EDA does have a company page, so that's great to see too. So yeah, it's having that company page. You know, it is something that you can post regular updates just like you would to like a Facebook page. So it's kind of, you know, the types of updates would be maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit more on the professional side, rather than where Facebook or a different social media site might be a little bit more casual. But we'll talk some more about that. Thanks, guys. So unclaimed pages. Here's the thing that LinkedIn does, is that sometimes even if your company didn't create a LinkedIn page, you may have an unclaimed listing there. So LinkedIn can create listing pages to help members and companies build their presence on LinkedIn. If you are a current employee there, you could try claiming the listing page to continue building your organization's presence. All listing pages will have a banner indicating that it was created by LinkedIn. And so this is just one example here. This isn't our Vivid image, this is in a different country, but you can see up here on the top, there's a banner at the top saying it's an unclaimed page and that it was automatically created by LinkedIn. So it is important just to do a simple search on LinkedIn and just make sure you don't have any unclaimed pages like this, because it might be something where somebody's following that page, not realizing that that it's maybe not your actual page and you're not posting to it, or just not realizing that it is your live page that you're using. Whoops, I skipped a couple slides here. Hold on a second. Okay, so next let's talk about some page branding opportunities. When you do create a company page, you can add a lot of information about your products and services and post regular updates and even run ads. So if you're looking for a way to promote your company's brand, you want to make sure to create a company page. In order to do that, of course, you need to also have a individual LinkedIn profile in order to create a page. And if you don't have an individual LinkedIn profile, that's a great place to start, just to get in there and get used to using the tool and adding connections and things like that. But once you do have that company page, there's a lot more opportunities to help brand your company. For instance, you can add logos and images, your address, phone number, calls to action, job openings. You know, when you do have a company page, then if your employees have a LinkedIn profile, then they'll be kind of linked to that. So there's a lot of opportunities there. This is just kind of what the screen looks like. Did somebody have a question? Okay, so this is what the information looks like for editing your main company information, assuming that you are an administrator on your company page. But you can just go to edit on that page and then click the large blue button, that says edit. And this is just an example of what you see. This is Vivid Images, so you can see here We can create our own URL so that we could link it to our website and stuff. Create a tagline, include different buttons to maybe different parts of our website. The lead gen form is something new where you can actually, have a specific marketing campaign that you want to create leads for, whether that's maybe a lead magnet of some sort or getting a demonstration, different things like that. So very easy to edit. Next up, reason number 2 to use LinkedIn for your company is search engine optimization. So all social media, or I shouldn't say all social media, but most social media is searchable by search engines, meaning that, if you go in and type in your company name in Google, hopefully your website comes up, or and you have different maybe news articles or something come up, but you also want your social media sites to come up. And if you have it optimized good, you by using certain keywords, you can also possibly come up higher in search engines with that information. So when you're adding your information into your LinkedIn page and your company LinkedIn page, just keep that in mind that using keywords that your customers might be searching for in your profile will help you to come up higher in that search engine results page. And for those of you that sometimes SEO and search engine optimization is a term that's thrown out quite a bit. And for those of you that might not know exactly what that means, it's a term that's used mostly with websites, but it's a set of practices designed to improve that positioning of where you come in those search results. And like I said, most often used with websites, but also definitely relates to social media sites, especially Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Those are ones that you can also see come up pretty high in a search engine results page. So just some examples of what is searchable on LinkedIn. Like I said, your individual profile and your company page information is indexed by search engines, including Google. That's assuming that your individual profile page is listed on public, as viewable by the public and not private. So LinkedIn profiles do rank highly in search engine results. So if someone searches for your name on Google, there's a good chance your profile will come up. And that's because LinkedIn profiles are designed to be search engine friendly with clear titles, descriptions, and keywords that help them stand out in those results. So a few of the things that you could work into your keywords in your company profile. One could be industry category, and there are some new ones that are added in 2022 to kind of broaden that a little bit more. I know sometimes people look in there and they don't really see a category that quite fits them, but there has been some new ones added. Another one would, just thinking about your about and your overview. I mean, this you could really, put some good information in there, more than a couple lines of words, but be pretty descriptive about who you are and what you do. Also specialties. Posts would be just examples of kind of like when you put a Facebook post up. A LinkedIn post would be similar, where you're sharing an update about your company or a news article, something like that. So these are just a few of the examples that could be searchable. So it might seem like a big undertaking to do the SEO for your LinkedIn profile, but just kind of keeping in mind some of those main keywords that you could work in throughout your page. According to LinkedIn, pages that are complete with information actually see a 30% increase in weekly page views. And when they're complete and active, meaning people are posting regular posts on there maybe once a week or so, they get 11 times more clicks per follower. So it's important to make sure your page is complete with information and that you are doing consistent posts on there. So reason number 3 to use LinkedIn for a company, most people is networking. Most people think of LinkedIn as a place to maybe find a job or post their resume. And while it can definitely be used for those purposes, the number 1 reason to use LinkedIn is actually for networking. And of course, networking can be, for those exact same things as, looking for a job or connecting with the customer or different things like that. But because you can connect with just about anyone from LinkedIn, from past coworkers to future business partners. And since it is a professional site, you can make sure that the connections that you make are quality ones. So sometimes you might get a connection request from somebody that you don't necessarily know. Usually my best practice with that is to see, if they are in a similar industry to me, or if I have any mutual connections with them, then I will usually accept it. Otherwise, there is a lot of benefits to just connecting with some people that you may not know but are in your industry because of the value of those second and third connections, connections that they may have that you don't yet. So, just different people that are on LinkedIn include business professionals, industry professionals, like I mentioned, current and future customers and current and future employees. So just keep in mind that that's the main thing, is to increase your connections there and keep networking. So how and where do you find people to connect with? So where Facebook calls it friends when you connect with people, LinkedIn calls it connections. So you want to build your connections, and there's several different ways to do that. Usually if I go to a trade show, or I meet a new customer or client, or I go to a presentation, one of the first things I'll do after that is look to see if they're on LinkedIn, and then I will add them as a connection. So it's just kind of a different mindset of figuring out what customers and business professionals that you've worked with, including colleagues, vendors, industry partners, who can you connect with to start building up those connections. So once you do connect with them, that'll allow you to like and comment on their activity on LinkedIn, and then they could do the same with you. And then also when they're your connections, they're your personal connections, that gives you the opportunity to invite them to follow your company page. There's also a lot of groups on LinkedIn, different industry related groups or business related groups, even groups for colleges or alumni. So if you join those groups, that kind of gives another way to meet some of those new people and build those connections. One thing that I always recommend when you are asking for a connection request is to put a note with it saying why you are sending the request. Even if it's a situation where you don't know that person directly, adding that note just makes you stand out and makes that person realize why you wanted to connect, and that it's not for spam or some other reason. One thing with that is when you are using the LinkedIn app on your phone, it doesn't give you that option to add a note, but when you're on desktop, you can click connection request and then just click add a note, and then just say in there why you're requesting that connection or how you know them. Next, I want to talk about how you can get your employees to help be your promoters. Because there's definitely a lot of opportunities there, with just because really your employees can be some of your greatest advocates on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has reported that employees are 60% more likely to engage with their posts from coworkers, and employees are 14 times more likely to share their organization's page content. So that's something, just to talk to your employees about or encourage, is that if you do have a post on your company page, just encouraging them to share it or comment on it helps to get that in front of their connections as well. Another way is by posting to your page itself. So if you have a post, maybe that's about an employee or mentions an employee, you can tag them in that post for any employee related news. So some ideas for this could be work anniversaries, volunteer activities, work accomplishments, different things like that, that kind of help to bring the employee into the post also. And one thing to kind of mention with that too is that it can be good, and depending on the size of your organization or the type of your organization, to have the social media in place to be clear about some of those guidelines about when employees are allowed to engage with the page if you do have some of that. All right, reason number 4 is to find new employees. And this is a big one recently for sure, because it seems like everybody is looking hard for staff and looking to hire. But LinkedIn is a great resource for looking for new talent. Not only networking with your current connections, but you can also post jobs and search for people that might have the skill set or the experience that you're looking for in a new candidate. So let's talk a little bit about that next. So how do you find new talent on LinkedIn? There's some ways to search for candidates with specific skill sets and experiences. And then you also have, there's a section under company pages with a workplace module where you can share different policies, such as, if you allow remote work or hybrid work, different policies that might be attractive to potential employees. And you can find this section in the same place where you edit your page details. Another way to find employees is to promote your job, your open job positions on LinkedIn. This is a paid option that's available that allows you to choose your own daily budget. When you promote a job, they're shown in the search results on LinkedIn, and they're also shown on the top of the job recommendations. There's a whole section on jobs, so you can see them in there under different categories. And I've included here an example of where to access the jobs. They are not located on the page where you would assume. So actually, I believe that you can access the jobs part even with I believe maybe with a personal profile. But you can see here, if you click under me, and then the job posting account is on the bottom of that. If you do not have a daily budget to promote the jobs, there are free options too. And one of those options is that LinkedIn does include one free job posting for each person. So if you have just one job opening, that's something to take advantage of. It's just kind of LinkedIn's way of kind of letting people dip their toes in it and see what the job postings are all about. So if you have an open position, that's kind of one way to get it out there. Secondly, when you do have that company page or even a individual personal profile, you can share the job opening as a post. So if you're sharing that job opening as a post, you can link to your careers page on your website, for instance. And with that, maybe also include like a photo or graphic, something that's eye-catching, and then link them out to your website where maybe it's got more information about the job and how to apply. Excuse me. All right, reason number 5 is to stay updated. So as a business professional, it's important to stay updated on the latest industry news and developments. And LinkedIn is a great tool for doing that. So as I mentioned, you can connect with individuals, but then also companies, organizations, thought leaders, maybe even your favorite authors or different people like that that might be changing, might be thought leaders in the industry. You can also join different groups and participate in some of those industry conversations. So in those groups, you might have people talking about different trends or different news, and it kind of can help you to stay in touch with what's going on there. So with connecting with others in your field, you can gain new knowledge and perspectives and make those valuable connections. So when a connection or a company page or a group posts updates, they're going to appear in your newsfeed. So for your connections, some of the things that you might see is if somebody changed a job, got a promotion, a different accomplishment or skill that they added to their profile, or a post that they might have made or other activity that they added. So those are things that you can learn about your connections. That might be something that you don't necessarily see on Facebook, something that's more related to the professional side of what they're doing. For industry news, you can follow different organizations and publications to see their updates. So this could be just to different organizations that you belong to, or magazines that might be industry related, just to kind of keep you up to date with what's going on in that industry. Also, groups comes into play for that one too. Finally, competition. You can also follow your competitors' pages to see what they're doing, and stay up to date with that as well. So you might notice, maybe you look up some of your competitors and you might see that they're pretty active on LinkedIn, or you might see that they don't have a company LinkedIn page yet. And I think either one of those can provide some insight or opportunity to where you can stand out by being ahead of the game. And as a general rule, I like to even just take 10 or 15 minutes per day to scroll through my LinkedIn newsfeed, just to see what's going on with my network, engage in some of those posts, check messages, and find new connection requests. And that's kind of what helps to kind of keep your network building and keeps you connected to your network. And then on the flip side of that, there's several ways that you can update your followers. So from your LinkedIn company page, as I mentioned, you can post updates, articles, and news. Some examples could be those work anniversaries, featured products or services, awards, community involvement, different educational pieces, employee bios. Those are just a few ideas that are kind of really tie in well with kind of just that company branding and company atmosphere. And depending on how you're posting that, if it's linking back to a page on your website, LinkedIn can also create that cross traffic back to your website, especially if you're linking to a blog post or you're linking to a new product on your website. Because ultimately, it is always good to drive traffic back to your website, kind of if you think of your website as being that main hub of information and main hub for marketing. Another really cool thing that LinkedIn just added more recently is that you can post articles. Not only you can post an article to your individual profile page, but you can also post an article to your company page. And so I don't mean just posting a link, but say for instance, if you have a blog that you're posted on your website, you can copy and paste that same blog into your company page as an article. And since we talked about those SEO benefits earlier, having that article on your LinkedIn page as well helps with that SEO, because you have that hopefully really good content that's going to be searchable on your company LinkedIn page. Another thing that ties directly in with those articles is a feature that LinkedIn is calling newsletters. So how it works is that if you turn on creator mode for your profile, you can create a newsletter to publish articles for your audience. And so when you create that article, it'll actually, people can subscribe to the newsletter. They call it a newsletter, but really what it does is it sends them an email of that article right to their inbox and then notifies them on LinkedIn. So if you're posting, say for instance, regular blog posts or articles on your website, this is a great, just another way to get it out there in front of your audience, is to also post it as an article, and then it'll push out to your followers as that newsletter too. So that's a really cool new feature that we're just kind of starting to play around with too, and it really seems to get noticed. So those are the main 5 reasons as to why your business should use LinkedIn. As I mentioned, this is kind of more focused towards the businesses and the company profiles rather than individual profiles. And I know it's a lot of information, and kind of wondering where to start. And so I put together a few places to just start, both with short-term and long-term. Short-term, actually I'm going to add one right before this very first one, is short-term. Do you have a personal LinkedIn profile set up? Because if you don't have a personal LinkedIn profile set up, you need to do that before you create any company page. So I would add that as a first to do before the one I have here on the screen. And then next, after that, you could create a new company page or claim an auto-generated page if you don't have one already. Then basically go through that business profile and fill in all the information that you can, as complete as you can, with kind of keeping that search engine optimization and keywords in mind, and think about, how you can use branded graphics to kind of get that same look and feel as maybe your website and Facebook page. And then nextly, invite your current connections to follow the page. So say for instance, if you have 100 connections that you're connected to on your personal LinkedIn profile, there is a spot now on your company profiles where you can invite your connections. So obviously this wouldn't be a fit maybe for all of your connections, but if you go through there and you look at your connections and you see that there's some that are very related to your business or that industry, then you can invite them to follow your company. So that's a good way to get those company followers increased. Oh, and I do see here, I do have optimize your personal profile on the bottom. That should be on the top, in my opinion. But yes, definitely optimize your personal profile. And again, make sure that is got those keywords in there and that's filled out, very completely. LinkedIn's really good about telling you, your 40%, your profile is 40% complete, or your profile will get more views if you fill out this section. So it'll kind of walk you through some of those things and help you to, kind of fill it in, even if it is little by little. Next up, for the long term, and kind of thinking more ongoing, consistent, posting that company news or company updates or articles on a regular basis. So even if you can start by doing this once a week, or even starting off once every 2 weeks and just keep it consistent, that will make a difference. Because really you have to think about if people are coming and liking your page, if you're not posting any company updates or posting anything that's useful to them, what is their reasoning for liking your page? They need to get some value out of it, and that's where posting those articles or company news or things that are going to be useful to them is a good idea. And then just remembering that as your company page, you can engage with other pages. So liking and commenting on posts that your page might be tagged in, or liking and commenting posts from other industry pages, connections, or employees. So there also might be maybe vendors or partners or other organizations, or kind of not your competition but complementary type businesses that you can maybe go and like on LinkedIn. And this is where engaging with their posts might help to get you in front of new people as well. And then we also talked about encouraging your employees to be advocates for your company by making sure they follow your company page and that it's properly linked in their individual profile page. And then also just encouraging them to engage with your posts and to share your posts, different things like that, so that that just gives your post that much more reach if they share it to their network as well. And then there also is analytics within your company page that'll help inform you about future decisions on your postings, what's working and what's not, different things like that. All right, we're getting towards the end here. And so, one thing to keep in mind, if you do need help with LinkedIn or other social media, Vivid Image does offer different social media retainers, content calendars, some of that keyword research. If you're looking to see, how people are finding your page, content services like with some of that blogging that I was mentioning, or writing articles, different things like that. And we are offering a free playbook. It's a customized playbook that will help build a plan for your marketing and outline the best next steps for your business. And you can just get that at vim.com/VI playbook. And finally, I am wondering if you guys have any questions. If there's any questions I can answer, or I can also, I have the LinkedIn page here open. If somebody wants me to show them something specific, I could definitely try. And
questions
you can also,
for Jackie? Any questions?
Yeah. Yep. I'll take questions.
Well, I guess I'll start. This is Jordan. What's kind of the low-hanging fruit? If you're gonna, say you've already got a business page for your business on LinkedIn, a profile. What's the first couple things that we can start off easy and slowly ramp this thing up? But what's the low-hanging fruit? Thanks.
Yeah, I would say that low-hanging fruit is just putting together, just maybe looking at, okay, for the next month, you're gonna maybe post 4 times over the month, so once a week. So what types of things do you want to post? Like for instance, here for Vivid Image, we are hiring, so we have that on there. We have like a marketing minute that we posted the week before, different things like that. So I would do that, and then the other thing I would do, I talked about that inviting your connections, and you can see that section right here. So if you're admin on your page, you'll be able to invite connections. If you're not admin on your page, you won't see this, but sometimes what I did too is, if you have an employee within your organization that has a lot of connections, even just making them an admin so that they can go in here, click invite connections, and then basically you can kind of look at, okay, I want to look at just connections within a certain company, depending on kind of how many connections you have. or if you're looking for a specific person, but you can invite up to 250 people a month. And so that's how you build those followers on that company page. So I would say those two things are probably the biggest, just maybe posting once a week and inviting some connections so that you have people that are following you and you can build up those followers.
Awesome. Thank you. Other questions? Sorry, I don't want to monopolize the conversation. Anybody else has questions? All right. Well, I think if everybody's got Jackie's contact info, if somebody's got a question that pops up to you, if you're like me when you're making supper at night, oh, hey, I should have asked that question. Just feel
Right.
free, if you're okay with that, Jackie, just have them give you a call or zip you an email or connect online with you.
Yeah. Yep, that sounds good.
Awesome.
Jackie@vim.com. Yep. Otherwise, I think my LinkedIn information is on that flyer and stuff too. So I welcome anybody that I'm not connected with to connect with me on LinkedIn.
Awesome. Last call for questions, friends. All right. With that, thank you so much, Jackie. We appreciate it. What a great presentation. I know I'm taking notes here. I'm sure everybody else is too on ways to tune things up. And thank you once again. Thanks for everybody participating on our monthly Renville County HRA EDA Lunch and Learn. Thanks, everybody. Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jordan. Bye.